Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I am going to share my screen. Here we go. So welcome. As she mentioned, my name is Elizabeth and I work in Portsmouth, New Hampshire and Portland, Maine, overseeing growth and culture in our firm over in that area. And Miranda Remillard here does the same thing, but in Manchester, New Hampshire and more towards Keene, New Hampshire. And if you know anyone in Vermont, she handles Vermont too. So we work closely together again about the growth and culture of our firm. We have a really interactive and exploratory selection process. And what we're mostly looking for is growing and meeting people exploring the career of the financial advisor position. So that's really what we'll be focused on today. Miranda, would you like to jump in here and talk a little bit more about Northwestern?
Absolutely. Thanks, Beth. So let me tell you a little bit about who we are. We were founded in 1857, and we currently manage over $290 billion worth of assets. We do have $29 billion in revenues, and we are ranked 111 in the Fortune 500. So our roots are certainly in the life insurance business, and it's definitely our signature product. We are the largest direct provider of life insurance with over $1.9 trillion of life insurance in force. But today, over 163 years, we do so much more. Northwestern Mutual provides a personal financial services and inventive solutions for individuals. So to provide a painted picture, ultimately, you and I would sit down. I would get to know you better through a personalized questionnaire that will help me guide that conversation. What we uncover, we then take back to the office and we prepare a personalized plan. And should we be in agreement, you will take action and execute, and that is the beginning of a client and advisor relationship. Now, what exactly helps us differentiate against our competitors? Well, to name a few areas, our culture and our products and the way we service our clients is certainly one of the areas that we differentiate. We are one of Glassdoor's best places to work. In addition, Business Week has named us the best place to launch a career year over year. Our training and development program is among the top 30 in the country. With that being said, this is a very exciting opportunity to be a part of a company who is for their policyholders. What that basically means is that we're a mutual company. We do not have a board of directors that we work with. We are here for our policyholders. And just last year alone, we paid over $6 billion worth of dividends. Anything that you'd like to add, Beth, to that?
I absolutely would. I think in the top left corner here, it's important to point out that we talk about our financial strength. So we are one of 5 companies in the entire world that has the top financial strength that you can have, the top financial rating you can have as a company. And even before this pandemic hit, which, of course, you're seeing things on the news. I can promise you we're keeping that financial strength. We're still on track for soon. We'll be one of 3 in the entire world that have that, and we'll be the only one in the financial services industry that has that top financial rating. So I think that that's a really important piece to point out here, because it's a strange time, but everyone just got a reminder of why this stuff is important. So I think that that's time and time again, we've really come through some strange times in our 163 years and still with top financial ratings. And a reason that our training is so specifically in depth is I know many of you watching right now have never done this role before. That's why it's so in depth. We are specifically geared toward, our training is specifically geared towards career changers and helping you explore a new career. So through the interview process, through the training, you're going to have a really in-depth idea of what to expect and what this position and this career really entail, and what you can really gain from working with Northwestern Mutual.
So what exactly do we cover and how do we service our clients? Well, we actually service families, businesses, investments, and the financial needs of our local community. And we're focusing on holistic planning. So what that really encompasses is insurance and investment planning, retirement planning, estate planning, business planning, education funding, long-term care insurance, and we also work with small mom and pop companies and large major companies focusing on their employee and executive benefit planning.
All right, so what actually happens in this role? That's a really great question. So a day in the life here at Northwestern Mutual. So this is not your typical 40-hour-a-week clock in, clock out job. We are very transparent. This is an independent contractor position. That allows for a lot of flexibility. You control your own time, you control your own money. What we are doing is we are giving you the structure to know how to be successful in that type of environment. So we're basically providing everything to you to start your own business or practice under Northwestern Mutual. Tons of resources, right? But what helps you drive your practice? The two key components of your day are going to be outreach to clients and potential clients and getting appointments on your books. Eventually, maybe an assistant helps you with that. That can look different for everyone and how they want their practice to look. But there's the outreach that you'll be making, and then there's the actual appointments themselves. Maybe you're just meeting with someone for the first time and doing what we call a fact finder, and that's the initial gathering of where people currently are financially and where they'd like to be, so that you can make those recommendations of financial products and financial plans to help them reach their goals. Those are the top two. The other pieces of the day are going to be any case preparation you need to do for those meetings, as well as what we call posting and planning. We use a CRM, which is a sales software to help you keep track of your practice and your schedule and your notes and all of that. Excuse me. But we're going to teach you how to be successful in that. And with that, we also provide someone to help with that case preparation. We provide a one-on-one mentorship, as well as group coaching and accountability meetings. You're never going to be left in the dust of, wait, what am I supposed to do to be successful here? We teach a certain amount of productivity equals a certain amount of outcome. This is not salesy sales or cheesy sales, but it is where sales meets finance. So if you do a certain amount of productivity, you're going to get a certain amount of outcome. So I mentioned those fact finder meetings, those initial meetings. In your first year, you'll probably get 60 to 70 new clients. That's pretty typical. In order to get those 60 to 70 new clients, you need to have about 300 of those fact finders in your first year. So 300 first meetings over the span of 12 months. Really what that means is you've got a healthy calendar. So in order to get that, 10 leads and phone calls equal 3 meetings equals 1 new client. So we're going to teach you metrics like that. So if you're really drawn to a position where with clear expectations of, if I do this, these are the results I'm going to get, we're going to show you that absolutely. And in fact, our training program that's built around that has been taken and adapted by some of our top competitors because it works. That provided structure I mentioned, certain amount of productivity equals a certain amount of outcome, as well as, there is the ideal calendar, but you again are going to control your calendar and your appointments. Maybe you're a morning person and you thrive talking to people in the morning. Maybe you need a couple hours. Maybe that's your time to do your paperwork. That's up to you. All right, so how the heck do you even get those leads and those clients? All right, so part of this process is, yes, we are providing everything to you to start a practice, okay? You are backed by a Fortune 500 company and everything that comes with it. Here's what we don't provide. We don't provide the actual leads themselves, but we are showing you how to do that. So this is a pretty standard practice within the financial industry, where you are reaching out to folks and you are building up a book of business. What that does not mean is putting you through training and handing you a phone book. What it does not mean is putting you through training and then go calling your mom to buy an insurance policy. It's really not the point or the intention here. Through the interview process, we have you do a little market research, and we have you talk to and get feedback from people in your, what we call the natural market, your first and second degree connections of people that you know best. The first and second rings inside your tree, okay? In order to have those really build off of that, it's having conversations with them and essentially having an open house for your practice. Get their feedback, get introductions, and expand outside of your natural market sooner rather than later. We want you having those conversations about their experiences with financial advisors and what their feedback is to you on exploring this type of career. It's just having a handful of conversations and seeing if you feel successful in that. The other piece of this, with it being an independent contractor position, is the compensation. You can make a lot of money here. You create a better life for yourself as a follow-up to the fact that you're creating a better life for other people. The impact that we have on our community is huge. And with that, you should be rewarded for the work that you put in to help other people create a better life for themselves. So it is a commission-based role. There's a lot that goes into that though, right? We won't overcomplicate it too much. But there are essentially 16 streams of income here that you can be earning from. And we are able to walk through that with you throughout the interview process so you have the best understanding of that, right? Because again, we're not only offering insurance products, we are all across the board financial advising and wealth management advisors. So there's different areas that you can be, or different products you can be offering to your clients, and those are going to offer the different streams of income. So the basics of how our compensation works is a majority of your income here actually comes off of renewals and bonuses. So when you sell a policy here, you are going to earn renewals and residual income every single year that someone is alive and has a policy with you. And we can circle back to the fact that we have over a 96% retention rate with our clients. They come with us and they stay with us for life. So the oldest life insurance policy, just to kind of give you an idea, the oldest open life insurance policy with Northwestern Mutual as of this past winter has been open for 88 years. So think about that. You make renewals and residual income every single year that someone's alive and has a policy, 88 years. It's pretty incredible. So with the way that those renewals work, you know, of course, year one, you don't necessarily have renewals yet, right? So we're going to offer other things so that you can make additional income upfront. The first one being higher commission rates. So typically an advisor here, when they sell a policy as part of a financial plan, they are going to earn about 50 to 55% commission off the initial premium of the policy. Then again, renewals and residual income every year after. In your first year, what we can offer is actually just over 80% commission. Then we lower it down by about 10% each year. So by year 4, you're at 50% with everyone else. And why does it lower? Well, because your renewals are building and the company starts paying you regularly off of those. You have set your own base salary, my friend. So the commissions go down back to 50 with everyone else because your renewals are growing and you're making more money and you have that base for yourself. The other thing that we can offer in your first year is $20,000 in stipends. We used to do 4,000. 4,000's fun, but 20,000's a lot better, I think. So the way that it works is we have it tied to our training right before you start. So right now we're actually starting conversations kind of for late summer. Okay. We're getting folks set up for later this summer for starting the training. There's a lot that goes into it beforehand, and you can start earning beforehand too. So right before you start training, you have your initial mentor meetings. You are taking your life accident health test and getting your basic insurance license because you don't have to be contracted to a company yet to get it. We pay you $1,000 for completing that pre-start checklist, okay? Then in our 2 weeks of training, we pay you $1,000 for completing that. We also can offer up to $4,000 for hitting your new client goals, and we can offer $2,000 for getting your securities licenses in your first 6 months. If you're not familiar, they are called the SIE, Series 6, and Series 63. Those are our minimum ones. If you'd like further ones, you're absolutely encouraged to do that. Those are just the ones you get in the first 6 months. The other thing we can offer is weekly stipends for doing your weekly activity. And we can offer $400 for doing your weekly activity, and then an additional $100 on top of that if you're doing joint work and bringing experienced advisors in on your casework. That's a lot of field learning. We have a lot of continued education here. What I really like about our stipend program is if you are focused on hitting, say, those weekly goals, there is no way that you will not be making more and hitting your bigger goals. Those are specifically set so that you are doing the activity that we teach you is going to have bigger results for you. So this is just some of the support we can give you in the very beginning. like I mentioned, it's a really comprehensive, interactive, exploratory interview process. We really want to make sure we're finding the right mutual fit and we're setting you up for success. Because if we're not doing that from this moment forward, we are not doing our job. We do not do what some recruiters call pushing through the funnel. If it is not the right fit, if it is not the right time, if it is not the right anything, we'll have that conversation with you. We want to make sure we're doing right by you. And our interview process, it's a few conversations with Miranda, myself, our managing partner, managing director, other top leadership, really just to make sure that you have the best understanding of Northwestern Mutual, the position, the training, and expectations. And that's really kind of the basics of this role I wanted to go over today. Miranda, did you have anything to share or add to that?
No, I think we covered what we needed to today. I'm hoping to open up the table to see if anybody has any questions.
Ladies, I appreciate you taking your time. Thank you again.
Thank you all for tuning in.
Yay, excellent. Thank you, Miranda.
Thank you.
You too.